Good evening, guys. Hi, my name is Rohit Prakash. I believe it's around 7 p.m. I was just laying down right now, going through some text messages on WhatsApp and on my other regular messages as well. What I did was I implemented some of the advice that I had mentioned earlier to you guys. I did a strengths and weaknesses column. Okay. On the left hand is strengths, and my on my strengths I put sobriety, grateful, I like to speak, a spiritual group that I go to. Well, I need to attend actually, which is the weakness of that part as well. My consciousness, I'm aware of my consciousness. I appreciate what I have. I think I'm funny, uh, and I'm self-aware. The self-awareness part is definitely the most important part, being self-aware. And on the weakness side of the column, I have temper, I have lapses in judgment, because sometimes when I make a decision when I'm in not the greatest of moods, so that's not the time when to make the best judgment, guys. We have to wait till a bad mood passes, and we can think in a more rational fashion. Okay, and when I speak, I go off topic. Sometimes I ramble, so I have to stick to the subject at hand and focus on the tasks that's in front of me. uh, Need to attend more of my spiritual meetings. Sometimes let people disrupt my energy. Usually, I'm typically calm for the most part, with little bursts of hyperness and petty humor and things like that. But if I'm doing something or I'm focusing on something like this, I'm videotaping or watching TV right now, and someone just comes in, and I like to be focused on something and one thing at a time and when I'm doing it. And if someone comes in and disrupts me, that gets me like, I sometimes my initial reaction, my go-to place goes from 0 to 60 in like less than 3 seconds, right? So I want to be in a place spiritually and emotionally that my energy won't be disrupted. If someone comes in, they see what they like, assess the situation, and go and help them, or see what has to be done. Okay, and some of my skincare issues, I go to a dermatologist ever since about a month ago. This is on my weaknesses side. I developed some type of skin discoloration on my face. You can't see it as much now. I don't want to show you guys, but you can't see that much now. But I had to go to a dermatologist, and she just notified me it was a lack of certain nutrients that were in my body, and it was topical, and it was some type of inflammation going on. It was probably because I like espresso. I drink espressos in the morning, and coffee and stuff like that, or tea. I drink a lot of tea. In Hindi, we call it chai. And I acknowledged that issue, that problem, and I went to see my dermatologist. So I got that under control, and I must. This is a must. I just wrote this down right now. I did this list like less than 5 minutes prior to me getting on here. I have to, and I must, and this goes for my business partner as well. You have to laugh more often. There's I have to laugh more often and take time to notice smaller things and laugh at them, and or I'll go onto Google and type in jokes and laugh, or I'll go to some of my text messages or gifs or WhatsApps and laughs and stuff like that. Um, Also, for my mood temperament and things like that, I sometimes I need, while I'm prescribed medication, and that's for anxiety. I know there's lots of natural remedies out there, like chamomile tea and melatonin and other things like that. But ever since I had stopped drinking, I had to take some type of anxiety medication, and I think letting people know that This comes with a certain amount of side effects. It comes with sometimes tiredness, sometimes people's. I know. Unfortunately, I experienced a little bit of gain of weight, uh, and that affects me a little bit. It affects my temperament. It affects my mood, but it won't disrupt me in here, my energy, and that's a lot of people. That's a part of life, and one of my major goals is to eventually stop taking the medication, and I try to work on it. But the way I look at it sometimes is that the medication, the more times I take the medication, is a step closer to getting better. And if I skip it sometimes, I tried skipping it once. I lived in a place called Wellington, Florida for a while, and I just went cold turkey off of it, which was not a good, very not good move. I used to live in Wellington, and at work once I was all of a sudden I was drinking. Maybe I had too many espressos or something, and I immediately had to go. I was having a panic attack, an anxiety attack, and I had to drive all the way. I called a doctor on a cell phone, and fortunate enough for me that the doctor's secretary bought a car for me, and she gave me her number, so I called her, and she got me into the doctor. I called the doctor. Fortunately, he was an Indian guy. This gentleman let me go see him out of nowhere, no appointment or anything, and I had to go in there and I had to get my anxiety levels down. So he was there to prescribe me medication, and uh, that really remedied the situation, and I'm very grateful for that. Um, so yeah, and you can see here's my fancy schmancy pen and paper, ThinkPad. And when you write things down, I don't know what it is subconsciously. I think we tend to remember it when we write things down. For some of us, we type. For some of us, we write things down. Whatever it is for you. And I just thought I'd let you guys know I want to hop on here and let you guys in on it, and perhaps you could do the same thing. Also, another idea is a gratitude list. I do the same thing with the gratitude list, and every night before I sleep, I say to myself a debit and a credit list. Like a debit things, let's say for instance, one of them happens to be I try to get 7,000 steps in a day. So if I didn't do it, at the top of my list is I didn't get 7,000 steps a day, right? Or I didn't pray today, or I didn't pray as much as I would like to today. That's on the debit side. And on the credit side would be, I stayed sober. If you did my 7,000, I got my 7,000 steps in today. I made money in the market. Um, I spoke to someone. I helped my parents out. That would be on the credit side, on the good side. Uh, all this is right before I sleep with my eyes closed after I meditate a little bit. That's just a little piece of information for you. If you could use it and if you could benefit from it, by all means, I would love for you guys to have that. Okay, you can go to the website, keepinspiring.me, and I appreciate you guys lending me your ear for this 9 minutes here. I hope you have a great evening, and and I get to see you tomorrow, or or I'll be lucky enough if you receive me tomorrow. Take care. Have a great evening. Bye.